During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about weed control in Shelterbelts.
All right, it may sound easy to you. Oh, well, that's no big deal. You just got to kill a few weeds out in the trees. It really limits your options. You've got trees growing all the time, perennial crop right there that you have to be very, very sensitive and very careful around.
All right, before we start talking about herbicides, I want to discuss tillage just a little bit, and also another method, which is just flat out laying something on top of the ground. So on our farm, we've put in Shelterbelts over the different years. Our grandpa did, our dad did, and now we've put in some of our own Shelterbelts too. And it can work pretty well. But now today, what we're typically doing in those rows where we've planted trees is we've got this black tarp that's laid down, and then we poke holes through the tarp and plant the trees. So it's really nice where I don't have to do tillage. I don't have to use a herbicide there for many years. So that's really effective. In terms of doing the tillage, what we usually would say is, you know what, before you ever seed a Shelterbelt, put lots of potassium out there. Run a good soil test. Make sure you're getting up to 7 or 8% base saturation K, and you have a crazy amount of pounds of actual K ready for those trees. They'll do so much better. Then till it in, start clean. Now you're in pretty good shape. And if you want to do some tillage in between the tree rows, at least for a little bit, you can. But you got to think about those trees are going to put roots out into the rows, so you don't want to do tillage very long.
Well, I know this, Brian. We did tillage by hand. You and I had garden hose, and we'd go out and try and clean things because Dad was really worried about the trees, and he didn't want to have the competition from the weeds, nor did he want to spray herbicides really close to the trees, especially with the two of us doing the application. He was worried we'd get it on the tree and hurt the tree.
Okay, in terms of weed killers, Casseron is great, but it's really, really expensive. That'll kill just about everything for you. We also used to use Princep very commonly. Anymore, what we typically will talk to people about is using Prowl or pendimethalin. Find a pendimethalin product that's labeled out in trees. That'll give you good residual. When it comes to actually killing weeds out there, we'd say very early on when you have small trees, kill everything so you don't have any competition out there, and just use something like Roundup. But then once the trees get established, use Freelex. That's the 2,4-D that doesn't volatilize or drift very much.
Well, with trees, there's just a lot of concerns that you've got around them because this is something that could last for your whole lifetime and beyond. So we want to make sure those trees get off to a good start, reduce or eliminate all competition around them from other plants. That's going to help them get going, and make sure the fertility piece is really good, especially with potassium to encourage rapid growth.
Yep, and once your Shelterbelt is well established, then we'll usually go seed grass in between the rows, and then we spray the 2,4-D on a regular basis to keep the weeds out of there. Let the grass grow relatively tall. That'll choke the weeds out in the future.
Well, choking weeds out is always a good idea in my opinion, especially if you have our Weed of the Week. Can you identify this week's weed?